What metal detector should I buy for my first one? I'm a beginner getting into this hobby, and I don't know what machine to buy. What do you suggest? We see this question almost every day, probably multiple times a day, on Facebook groups and in the internet. And here's my answer to the question. Okay, you want to get a metal detector that has certain features. All right, you're going to want these things. Okay, you're going to want a waterproof detector, completely waterproof. Some of them, just the coil is waterproof. But guess what? You're going to get rained on. You're going to drop it in the water. If you detect on the beach, forget it. I mean, you're going to get the thing wet. And guess what? When I'm done for the day, my metal detector and shovels and everything goes in the front yard and I hose it off. That's my cleanup. And it looks great with little to no effort. I mean, it's just hose it off and it looks like brand new again, okay? Wireless headphones. Don't go with wired headphones because, as you're detecting, you got to sit the metal detector down to dig a hole, and now you got a cord going from your head to the metal detector, and, that gets in the way big time, and it's just a hindrance. And you don't want to lay your headphones down either, because half the time the grass is wet or it's muddy or whatever, and you got to put that back on your head. So, yeah, wireless headphones, okay? Multi-frequency, and I mean simultaneous multi-frequency. This is a technology that's been out now, I think, since 2017 or 18, and it's a mid-range to high-range feature now in metal detectors. And what it does is it helps a lot with especially beach detecting. You almost don't want to beach detect with a single frequency detector in this day and age, okay? You want multi-frequency. It helps with mineralized soil. It helps to discern targets, and it helps with discrimination. It helps to identify targets more accurately because it's got different frequencies reading the same target and reporting back to the processor, which compares the two. It's going to help with noise and mitigate electromagnetic interference, and it just improves the accuracy of the detector and the precision. Now, which metal detectors have multi-frequency? All right, so there are basically 4 brands of metal detector that I suggest you stick with, and don't go outside these 4 brands. Those 4 brands are Minelab, Nokta, XP, and Garrett. Okay, so Minelab has the Xterra Elite, the Equinox, 4 different ones, 600, 700, 800, 900, and the Manticore, which is a high end, okay, big bucks. The XP has the Deus 2, also high end. Nokta has the Score series, and they have the Score, the double score, the triple score, and then they have their number 1 metal detector, the Legend. Then Garrett, of course, Garrett has the Apex, which I don't really recommend, and they have their brand new machine this year. This is 2025. The Vortex, okay, Vortex VX9, I think. Anyway, I don't recommend that one either because they're having a bunch of problems with it. Hopefully they can come up with an update to solve the problems, but as I make this video, it's having tons of problems, serious problems, okay, where it's unusable. So those things, you're going to want to think about weight. All right, but then again, most of your modern metal detectors are about the same weight. They're roughly come in about 3 pounds for the metal detector. Depends, on the size of your coil, et cetera, et cetera. If you want something phenomenally light, the XP Deus 2, now you're going to spend $1,500 to get an XP Deus 2, or you can spend a lot less and get what they call the WS6 Master Series, which is minus the remote controller. It works. It's still a great machine. Okay, there's definitely some give and take there by going that route. So what's the budget that you've got to work with here? Okay, probably your main decision maker is your budget. Well, here's the kicker. All right, and people are afraid to spend any serious money on this hobby because they don't know if they're going to get out there and not like it, and then or not have time to do it, or for whatever reason they spend their money on this metal detector and it sits in their closet or whatnot in the garage. Here's what you do, okay, to totally solve this problem. All right, think about going with a used metal detector face to face from Facebook Marketplace or whatever you use. It used to be Craigslist or whatever. Okay, I use Facebook Marketplace to buy used stuff all the time, so you kind of get good at it. But find a good deal on a metal detector on Facebook Marketplace, and you're going to get a detector, and the standard really is about half price. Okay, you're going to get a detector for about half the price of what it would have been new, or even better, than that. Guess what? Somebody buys a brand new metal detector, they end up buying accessories. Usually people get all excited. They'll buy a pinpointer, metal detector, finds bag, pinpointer. Well, I already said pinpointer. A case for it, a backpack, whatever, right? A shovel, a digger. They got all this stuff, and they got money wrapped up in all these accessories too. Guess what? Half the time they're going to throw all that in for half the price of the metal detector. My suggestion here, and now I'll get down to the actual detector that I will suggest to everyone, and I've been suggesting to everyone. It is the Nokta Legend, okay? The Nokta Legend is sold, typically the best deal is to get the Pro Pack. The Nokta Legend Pro Pack, about $800, okay? You get the metal detector, you get 2 coils, a big coil, small coil. You'll get wireless headphones. The Legend is completely waterproof, 16 feet underwater, okay? Not the headphones now. The headphones are just rainproof, but just, keep them on your head. You'll get, usually whoever you buy it from will have some kind of package where you'll get a pinpointer or some sort of accessory package with it for free or whatever. But remember that I'm suggesting buying it used. So find a Nokta Legend used, and it should be about $400 instead of $800. I got mine for $350, and the guy even threw in, he had a $150 XP backpack that he bought. He had like a $150 pinpointer that he bought for scuba diving. Threw this stuff in. He had, he had extra books and stuff that he bought. Just gave it all to me. Extra shovels. You get a good deal this way. And guess what? Here's the thing. Hey, if you decide you don't want to do it anymore, you can sell it and get all your money back. You didn't lose one single dollar, okay, by going with a used machine. So, Devin, the Nokta Legend, why are you suggesting that? That's a complicated metal detector for a beginner. Why are you suggesting these? Why aren't you suggesting a beginner metal detector? Well, because the higher end metal detectors have factory presets that totally take the complexity out of the equation. So you turn on your Legend or even your Deus 2 or your Manicore high end, turn them on, and guess what? You've got presets that you push, okay? On the Legend, it's going to be, you've got a choice of park, field, gold, or beach. Just hit one and you're ready to go. You don't have to know anything else, okay? Just go detect and you will be successful and find stuff. It'll start beeping. You know, are you going to want to know what your VDI numbers mean? Yeah, so you can learn that pretty quick, you know, and slowly. Learn it slowly. You don't have to know everything about metal detecting before your first day. You'll learn it gradually. You know how to set your sensitivity in case, you know, you're getting a bunch of noise, and maybe learn recovery speed and some discrimination concepts. You know, maybe a frequency scan to get you want to kind of learn a few things to get rid of noise, because what happens is anything electronic in the air or any electrical field in the air can cause interference with metal detectors if it's in the same frequency that you're trying to detect in. Okay, so what a frequency scan does is just sort of shifts your frequency around to a clear channel, so to speak. But yeah, I don't shy away from recommending a better metal detector that has lots of bells and whistles, way more than you're going to use at first, because you're probably going to be addicted to this hobby and you're going to start learning all these things. And guess what? What if I got a $200 metal detector and I'm addicted to it and I start learning all these things and, oh man, mine doesn't have that. Oh man, mine can't do that. Oh crap, mine doesn't do that. The Nokta Legend has all that stuff, okay? It has everything that a Manticore or an XP Deus 2 has, which are $1,500 and $1,800, okay? It has all the features. You know, is it as good as those? No, it's not. It's honestly not. But it holds its own. Okay, it holds its own. And yeah, I mean, to be quite honest with you, I did upgrade from the Nokta Legend to both of those, to be honest. But anyway, that's my suggestion. Okay, Facebook Marketplace, used Nokta Legend. Don't worry about being too much detector. It's going to be about $350 to $400. You're once and done. You're probably going to get accessories with it. You're not going to have to go shop for the accessories separately, which you'd have to do if you bought a new metal detector. You will need a pinpointer. You will need a finds bag. You will need a shovel and a digger. Can you use any shovel and digger? Yeah, you can. Can you use any pinpointer? You can, but there's definitely differences there. Okay? I mean, I can take a second here and go over pinpointers, but you're going to want a Garrett pinpointer. Garrett Pro Pointer. They're probably between them and XP MI4, MI6. Or, well, I mean, it's the same companies. Mine Lab makes a nice pinpointer and Nokta makes a nice pinpointer. It's the same four companies that make the pinpointers that are the best. You know, it's just Garrett has a one-up on the pinpointer game where they're just not there with the detectors. They fell behind. But the pinpointers, they got that nailed down. Okay? Anyway, I think that's it right now. You know, don't worry about whether or not you're gonna not get into metal detecting. Just decide that you'll sell it if you don't get into it. That's it. All right, so that's it. That's my 2 cents on the subject. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you coming and checking out my video, and have a great day. Swing away.